How are we doing, guys? I'm going to show you a short routine you can do to help your hips loosen up and also give you a brief explanation at the end why your hips may be tight. So what you're going to need for this, you're going to need a dowel, a playground ball, and a mini band. So grab yourself those three things, and then I'll show you what you're doing. All right. So first thing we're going to do is roll our feet out. So the plantar fascia is our target. It's on the bottom of the foot. Most of it is on the inside of the foot, the part that I want you to hit. You can roll over the bone. I don't want you to go too hard over the bone. When you're on the plantar fascia, I want you to dig. You should make it uncomfortable, but not excruciatingly painful. If your feet are really tight, you've never done this before, you may need to spend 2 or 3 minutes. If not, if they're not that bad, spend about 30 seconds on each foot and then move on. After you've rolled the feet out, grab yourself a playground ball. Go on your back. Now, the most important part of this exercise is that your low back crush the ground. Ball goes on top of the knees, low back crushes the ground, head is back, your hair is on the ground, but your head's off the ground. And breathe deeply into your belly. After you've done a couple breaths, grab your mini band, put it around your feet, and then you're on hip extension against a stance leg. On this exercise, you also need your low back crushing the ground. Very important. This video, if you haven't guessed, it's all about crushing the ground with your low back. Because one of the reasons your hips are tight is because when you're walking around, you've got an anterior pelvic tilt. And I will show you what happens when you have an anterior pelvic tilt. So, if I give myself an anterior pelvic tilt, right here, this represents the length of my hip flexor. What happens when I give myself an anterior pelvic tilt? That distance lengthens, then what happens? So what happens to my hips? How high can I drive them? It looks like I can drive them high enough, but look what happens if I give myself a neutral spine. I can go the rest of the way up. Try it yourself if you don't believe me. So what happens is if you're walking around with an anterior pelvic tilt, you're walking around with already lengthened hip flexors. And what that does is it overuses them because they don't have mechanical advantage when they're lengthened. And just imagine your day, you're climbing stairs, walking, running, God forbid, lifting. So work these exercises, work on being able to have a neutral spine, and I bet your hips will feel a whole lot better. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll either make another video or just answer them. Enjoy.